Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Scoreline podcast. Today, we're going to be going over Arsenal versus Burnley for the weekend, covering some betting stuff at the end, and talk about how we think the game is going to go. Give you a score prediction and everything to do with the game. Game, as you can see, is starting in roughly 17 hours. This will be on tomorrow. In terms of how where the teams are sitting. Neither team are doing particularly well this season. Arsenal here sitting in 10th position and Burnley in 15th. So, kind of a mid-table clash, mid to bottom table clash, but we're still going to cover it. Gui, how do you see it going?
I want to believe that Burnley might pull something special, especially because they just came out of a draw with Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
So Leicester has been very poor for the last few games, so I wouldn't think too much about that one. But the double of Arsenal by Burnley would be awesome.
Bro, they've
But
beaten
I
us
can't say
once.
I can't say I see it. I can't say I see it yet.
They've beaten us once, ever, and that was this season.
So what if they pull the double, bro?
I don't know.
Sick.
I agree.
But yeah,
I'm happy
I
that you have
struggle to see
confidence.
it. No, I don't.
George, do you think that they can
Um,
do the double?
no, I'm putting my faith in Arsenal this week. I always talk shit about, but they're on a good run of form recently. They beat Leicester last week. They beat Benfica in a comeback
Yep.
in the Europa League. So yeah, I think they're on a good run of form at the moment. Um, I don't know what the status is on injuries and stuff.
I can
Conor, maybe you could
I can
enlighten.
tell you. Emil Smith Rowe is a doubt. He came off kind of in the match before, for Arsenal. He's going to be a bit of a miss for us because he's been so good and so creative. In terms of the team news for them, Jack Cork is missing. Well, is a doubt, and Robbie Brady and Berg will all be assessed. Um, if I'm honest, I don't know whether that's huge for them or not because I don't see any of Burnley's players as kind of stand out besides maybe Ben Mee, Nick Pope, maybe Woods as well for them, and they're all in there. So I don't know. I think at least for me, this will be pretty safe sailing. I think in terms of
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
mean,
think so too.
if they beat us, it would be the first time they've done the double over us since 1962. So I'd say the odds are in our favor.
The
Yeah, it's a
stats back
record-breaking
Arsenal.
season.
Yep. And I mean, the game, as we can see here in kind of the previous meetings, the games are never particularly high scoring. I mean, there were two games here where there were 4 goals, but recently they've been kind of drab affairs. I don't see it being a big goal thriller. I don't see us smashing them. I think it will kind of take a Man City approach to it in that we might score one or two and then just chill out, just keep the ball, keep it passing around the back. Something really big for us is Kieran Tierney, who has been kind of in and out of the team. Thomas Partey, who's kind of been in and out of the team, will be in there, and they're huge for us in terms of kind of for Arsenal. Anyways, the games coming up, we don't really need to rest anyone. There is a Europa League game against Olympiacos, so there could be a bit of resting, but I think we'll still have enough to beat Burnley, at least in my
You
opinion,
know,
anyways.
not gonna lie, also I can see a cheeky 1-1. Or I like a cheeky 1-0 to Burnley.
I think
Because
we'd have to
Arsenal,
fuck
like,
up.
yeah, but like you have a few times. Remember that Villa game, maybe like 3 weeks ago or something,
Yeah,
a month ago maybe. Like that game, yeah, they scored super early, but still, Arsenal never felt like they had that much pressure. And even against Benfica, who were awful, those goals kind of came out of nowhere or came from like one player carrying Arsenal on their back, like Tierney did with that long shot. If Burnley just sit back and defend well, like Sean Dyche is capable of doing and organizing his side,
yep.
I could see them holding Arsenal to like 1 or 0 goals. And if they can grab a cheeky one, I could see the 1-0, the 1-1s, like a low scoring, boring type game. I could see it, though it's still unlikely. I think Arsenal would probably come in strong and
I think
break them open easily, but still, I could see Burnley doing something like that.
I agree. I could see Burnley maybe pulling something, but what I kind of want to touch on is the fact that like the Leicester game where we went 1-0 down so early, and it's so typical Arsenal to go 1-0 down and then just capitulate and then lose 2 or 3-0. But we kind of showed a lot of character, and it was a second string side at the end of the day. I mean, I have the lineup here. We're looking at Willian was in there, El Neni was in there, Pablo Mari was in there, Cedric was in there. So we had a lot of changes and we were still able to beat a Leicester side that have been doing quite well this season. So I think in this game, I don't see anything but an Arsenal win here, and it's not just because I'm an Arsenal fan, but if we did lose it, I'd be very upset. Let me put it that way. And I think, although there could be a lot of resting, and that could change it depending on how much he's prioritizing the Olympiacos game. But it depends. Also, going through Arteta's mind is, does he rest players now, play big players in the Europa League, and then have to play the second string side against Tottenham, because we've got Tottenham quite quickly after? I don't know. George, what score prediction are you going with here? What do you think it's going to be?
I do. Yeah, I think it's going to be low scoring. And I don't think Arsenal will keep the clean sheet, so I'm going to go to Arsenal.
2-1. Interesting stat, by the way. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 8 away league matches at Turf Moor, keeping a clean sheet in 4 out of their last 5. So I don't know if the no clean sheet is the best shout, but you know what? I'll look like an idiot if they do score, so we move. So we're going 2-1 for George. Gui, what are you going for?
Either 2-0 Arsenal or like 1-0 Burnley. But I'll go for 2-0.
All right,
2-0
so 2-0.
Arsenal. Safer bet.
I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal. I think it's going to be kind of boring. In terms of kind of the odds for this game, the odds are quite obviously in Arsenal's favour. I think for Arsenal to win, there's very heavy odds. There's very heavy odds for Arsenal to win. In terms of good betting for this game in particular, I think maybe keeping Arsenal to clean sheet is probably a good one, because we've been quite defensively solid. I'd say maybe with the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe being a doubt, you could maybe go for like an Odegaard. If you want to go for a very risky bet, you could kind of go for an Odegaard or maybe a Saka assist, because that's really realistically where our assists come from. But yeah. What are you guys thinking about in terms of if you were to bet on this game?
I think you could bet on Burnley having very low amount of shots.
Yep.
Maybe like less than even 2 shots on target. Wouldn't that be that crazy? Also a bet toward Arsenal's corners, because you know how Burnley like to stick 10 men in the box, and that usually results in a lot of deflected shots, things like that, a lot of corners. So I think that could be a decent bet as well. Apart from that, just a low scoring game.
Yeah, I think low scoring game. I didn't even mention the corners as well. That's so right. I think Arsenal are going to have a lot of possession. There's going to be a lot of shots from outside the box. We saw Thomas Partey do that a lot in the Leicester game. Just take kind of 25-yarders and win those corners. So I could definitely see that happening. Do you have what would you be going for, George?
Yeah, I think I agree with what you said. I think given the stats, betting on Arsenal to keep a clean sheet is a good bet. Yeah.
Fair. In terms of how we're gonna be doing this is I'll put a bet on this game. I'm gonna go with my scoreline of 1-0 and put my money where my mouth is and see how that works. We'll come Monday or Tuesday, whenever we post the weekend review, I'll tell you how the bets went, and we as a scoreline will see if we're any good at what we spout, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for the Arsenal-Burnley game. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.